The only thing differential around here is your OneDrive.
Wow. Not a Mazda fan, huh?
Well,
Do you get your hair cut?
yep. Actually, my wife did. My wife did.
Wow.
This is, a second career for her. It's
I could use this service. Does she drive?
she in fact does.
How does she do this?
Well, we got clippers from our neighbor, and she just kind of went to town. And I mean, it's all right. It's fine. It worked out.
No, it is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's.
I feel a little strange that I noticed it, but
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but here
well,
we go.
yeah.
Also did my nails, Paul.
How about that Bengals draft pick? Huh?
Yeah, Burrow. Yeah, he's looking good. He's looking good. We got a new receiver. We got Burrow, which I think he's gonna make like $36 million. Can you imagine that? Just
No, I can't.
no, I really can't either.
Nope.
God. Anyways, if I did have $36 million, I probably still wouldn't buy a Mixer subscription. But if you have Microsoft reward points, you can now convert those to a Mixer subscription.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't run out of subscriptions. There's going to be a run.
I would love to really know like how that service is doing, because they had to have spent a decent amount of money to get some of those top tier streamers, and it doesn't really appear to be working out.
No, and it makes sense that Microsoft would want to have a service like this. I totally
Sure.
get it. But this seems like a more modern version of like, we have this big audience with Windows, so let's put a music service in it, or, a movie service or whatever, I don't know.
I could
Maybe at some
shorten that
point.
statement down. Amazon has Twitch. What do we have? And
Yeah, and what it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you kind of look at what they've done very slowly with personal assistants, where only Alexa's taken advantage of it, but it can work over the lock screen now in Windows 10. It can integrate into the system. Maybe that's the right approach, right? Just and it's so customer friendly.
Yeah.
If they ever did this, even though everyone would see it as a massive defeat. If you could go into the game bar in Windows 10 or on the Xbox and integrate directly, actually you probably can, but through the Microsoft stuff, just integrate with the service of your choice. I think the other functionality they have in Windows 10, is great. So whatever. But yeah, I know.
Here we are. So there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, Pixel Bud 2 now are out. If you're in that audience and you would like to buy those, you can now, I believe, do so. They're 179 bones. I think sounds about right.
Yeah, I just get the Samsung ones, or if you're an Apple guy, get the AirPod Pros or whatever.
So there's going to be a lot of choices soon, including Microsoft's UFO ones, which should be coming out here in the next few weeks, week and a half, 2 weeks.
Microsoft one looks like when they get like someone puts in like a thing in their ear where there's a hole in your ear and it kind of it's like a disc. I don't know. I'm sure the Pixel things are fine. I'm a little burned on Google hardware, frankly. I don't know. I have the Pixel Buds. Sorry, no, I don't. I have the Samsung Galaxy Buds Plus and also the older version. And those guys just updated the software for the older version to basically match what's possible in the Plus. So I think it's everything except the added battery life. I don't know. It does seem to work pretty well.
The market for this seems much smaller than, say, a lot of the other stuff, because I still have the original AirPods, and I really don't have any strong desire to upgrade them. They're just
right. I mean, my daughter actually upgraded from the normal AirPods to the AirPods Pro, but I think it was because she kept losing her AirPods.
Oh, well, and
she wanted something that was a little more stable. I mean, she's on these things, dude, like 20 hours a day, but I guess it probably does because they have different fits now, right? That's how those work. And I guess there are rumors about a next gen normal AirPod that will also have those tips. So that will probably solve the problem for anyone who has an iPhone.
Yeah. Or, it's not really a big deal because I can't go to the gym, which is where I wore them 99% of the time, and can't go to that disease-ridden hole until...
That's cesspool of grossness.
Yeah.
And also good health.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because, which I was going to say, because it's like, it's a very,
I used to question this all the time.
Like dirty place, but you're there to get better.
Yes. Yeah. I know. I miss it. I want to go back.
want to go back to those dirty holes.
Well, I mean, and
No,
you
I
know,
get
like
it.
I know myself well enough to know that within the first couple of days that I'm there, I will instantly begin complaining again
Mhm.
about all the stuff I used to complain about. Right? I will miss it for months and finally
Yep.
get it back, and I'll be like, I mean, I'm terrible, but
Yeah.
um, yeah. But anyway, I do miss it.
It's just like standing in line at the TSA. I honestly wouldn't mind going to the airport right now to be able to go and have the
And yet,
ability to go somewhere. And yet, as soon as I walk through that airport door,
I
it's
know.
like,
Yep. Oh, and you can just add to that because that will be like a line of people, regardless of what it is.
mhm.
And just being around people is going to freak you out a little bit, you know?
Yeah,
Right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's going to be a little weird.
it will be. It will be. Not a whole lot else going on today, actually. So,
Yeah, that's true.
mhm.
Just make sure. What do we got here? Differential sync. Already covered that. Blah blah blah. Pixel buds. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of the
Yeah,
highlights.
not too
There's-
much. 1+8's coming out this Wednesday, I think. Could talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
What do you think about this Spotify thing? I don't know if you read this, but
No.
I'm always, I always kind of reevaluate stuff, and Spotify lacks some like really basic, like queue management features that I'm really used to that I just don't quite understand.
yeah. There are some weird things that
Yeah, I don't-
Spotify is just ignoring.
I accept that, Spotify's European, right? So it's just got kind of a quirky European thing going on, and that's fine. I like Europe. No, I mean, and whatever, but it's been years. Like a million. This is the most popular service in the world. I mean, they must get all kinds of feedback. I've seen
Yeah.
things on their support forums from years ago where people have complained about things that still aren't fixed. Sound familiar, Microsoft guys?
Mhm.
And and like the Spotify responses are so tone deaf. It's like, it's like, oh, if you want to like clear the complete queue at once without like tapping individually in every song, um, load the desktop app. You can do it from there. It's like, guys, what? Like, that's not a solution. And that it's like 5 years later. Like, why isn't this fixed? It's the simplest thing in the world. Here's one. Like, my wife and I listen to music a lot, right? So,
Mhm.
you start playing something. Like, in my case, it's usually it's not always, but it's usually a playlist. Sometimes I'll just go in and find a song, and I'll be like, I want to play this. And then what you can do after that is, as music is playing, obviously you can remove songs and you can move things around, and that's cool. But I like to browse. I just did this last night actually. I kind of browse around for music, and I found another song I want to add to the mix, so to speak. And there are two choices in Google, and I would think in any modern music app, you can select the song somehow and say I want to add this to the queue, which Spotify supports, or I want to play this one next. I want this next. And Spotify doesn't have that, right? So if you want that, if you like, you don't just want to add it, you want to make sure it's the next song. You would have to go and view the queue, find the song, and if it's shuffling, it might be anywhere, I suppose. But let's just say it's at the bottom. And then you'd have to grab it and scroll it all the way to the top, And it's like, this is it's just I don't like when I see problems that I could fix, like if I had access to the source code. Like, I don't understand this.
You use this way more than I do. I don't think I've ever used the queue intentionally. I'm like,
Yeah, because you very specifically go in and just play something.
well, I usually just, honestly, there's like not even playlists, like radio stations that I
Yeah,
will hit,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then they
yeah.
will just run for like 4 hours, 5 hours a day. And then
Yeah, so you accept it like a radio. You're going to just
Yeah.
play whatever they play. And maybe sometimes you hear a song you don't like and you skip it, but
Yep.
that's
that's about it.
No, by the way, I completely get that. But I mean, I feel like what I'm doing is, I don't know, like we really like music, and
Mhm.
sometimes you go down a path, like we'll actively listen to music, right? I mean, sometimes it's just playing in the background, obviously, but sometimes we like literally are listening to music. And it's like, and we talk about it, and it's like, well, this reminds me of a thing. Oh, you should listen to this. Or, and I don't know. I just feel, you're probably right. It's probably Spotify, I'm sure, is very much aimed at a younger crowd that is in many ways passively playing whatever. Yeah.
A
I
lot
mean,
of
I'm
it's
sure
just
that's common.
background noise throughout the
I'm
day.
just saying, years into this, at some point, you kind of build the thing out. Like I
Mhm.
accept that I don't like it, but I accept that I'm part of an older generation of people that would like to have some of my own music, which is not in the service, mixed into this music. And I know that's an unusual thing. I get it. Like I understand why they don't have it, but Google does have it. Apple has it. Amazon used to have it. They got
Mhm.
rid of it. That's too bad because now that gets rid of that. And then the other thing that's coming up, by the way, that I think is really interesting is YouTube Music. Once it does replace the Google Play Music, you have the interesting possibility of mixing music videos into your playlists. And it's not about watching it. It's that there's a lot of like live performances, especially these days, by the way, there are a lot of musicians playing things from home. And you could add that music into a playlist in YouTube Music. It's kind of a unique advantage that they may have eventually, you know. Brad's like, I don't care. I just play the
Yeah.
radio. Okay.
The only thing that's running through my head is Sonos is supposed to be maybe releasing early hardware sometime next month, and
Mm-hmm.
I have two concerns. One, whatever it is, I would love it if it supported Dolby Atmos, which
Right.
then the second qualifier
So
there
you
is,
could replace all your subs.
well, not the sub should be fine. I would probably buy a play bar if it would fit inside my AV cabinet, which
Here's what Sonos needs to do, dude. I don't understand why they don't have this. Or maybe they do. Maybe I'm missing the point. Well, tell me if they have this. So you got to, what's the sub we have? The play bar or whatever? Sub? What's it
It's just called a sub, yeah.
Sub. So right now what I have is a sub under the TV. So a sub is it's stereo with a center. But it is
wait.
right there. Well, technically it is, right?
Oh yeah. If you have a play
Yeah.
bar and a sub, that's 3.1. Yes.
But if you just have a play bar, it's 3.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
The 3 is from the sub. So the 3.1 you get with the sub. If you put 2 speakers in the back, that's 5.1.
Yep.
Really, you need a 7.1
Yes.
or a 5.1 where it's all in the front, where you could add 2 of whatever speakers and have those be the kind of
left
a
and right.
wider stereo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little confused that they don't do that. Like it seems like a software problem. Like they should be able to do it right now with the
I'm
equipment.
sure they
have.
probably can, and maybe it's coming. I mean, that sounds like an easy way to sell more speakers, which
Yeah, look, I'm just asking to spend more money, and I'm telling you how I would like to spend it.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, seems like something they could do.
the only frustrating part of that is I just did all that electrical work. Although I could probably
Yeah.
get him maybe up to where I'd want him to be, but whatever. So, yeah, here we are, and here we go.
Wow.